Hello everyone, I'm coming with a topic unpaid seller. In my last video, I have discussed about the first right of unpaid seller, that is of a right of lien, how he can exercise and when it can be lost his right. But today I'm coming with the other rights which is available to an unpaid seller. The second right, that is a right of stoppage of goods in transit. It's a very important right, and how the unpaid seller has a right and power to exercise when the goods are already in transit. He can stop it also. It's a very important right, and very right, very vital role the unpaid seller can play still when the goods are on transit. So it is carrying on, but still he can exercise this right. So what is this right we say? So the right of stoppage in transit means, what is this right? So right of stopping further transit of the goods. So while it was carrying on the roads, he can stop it also, not to go further, not to transfer further. He can stop it. He can stop the goods while they are with a carrier for the purpose of transmissions to the buyer. So he can inform immediately to the carrier, stop the goods. Wherever it is, you stop it, don't carry further for the transmissions to the buyer. Then he, to the buyer, reserving possession of them. He will take the possessions, he will have the possession with him and retaining possession until payment or tender of the price. He can retain, he can keep the possession with him till the payment is made or offer of the payment is made. That is consideration amount. Unless and until he paid or offered, it will be with the possession of the unpaid seller. Thus, in a sense, this right is an extension of the right of lien, because it entitles the seller to regain possession even when the seller has parted with the possession of the goods. So that is why we say it is an extension of the right of lien, because he can still have the possession with him, because he entitled, because he has a right. He is entitled to regain possession. He can take back the possession with him even when the seller has parted with the possession of the goods. Even the seller has, given the possessions of the goods to the carrier. That's why we say extension of the right of lien. So when this right can be exercised, we say this is a right available to him as per the Sale of Goods Act. But when he can exercise, there must be certain circumstances. So sections 50 of the Act says an unpaid seller can exercise this right under the following circumstances. Now what is this circumstances? We have to see it. Now first, when the buyer becomes insolvent. Buyer become insolvent means he has been declared by court, the certificate is given as an insolvent. That means he doesn't have a sufficient amount to make the liability or to make payment of the unpaid seller. So the buyer is said to be insolvent when he has ceased to pay his debts in the ordinary course of business or cannot pay his debts as they become due, whether he is declared an insolvent or not. Now, buyer is an insolvent when he cannot pay the debts, that is a liability. Ordinarily, in the ordinary course also he cannot make the payment, or he cannot pay his debts as they become due. He cannot pay the liability, which is already in due, whether he was declared as an insolvent or not. So this case will be fitted here. He has been declared by court or not, or even he doesn't have a sufficient amount, he can still exercise this right that he cannot pay the amount because he becomes an insolvent. Now the second grounds or the second circumstances where he can exercise this right. Secondly, the property has passed to the buyer. Property has passed to the buyer means what? So you have already, passes the ownership to the buyer. That is, ownership is passes to the buyer. So ownership is given. That means the property has not passed to the buyer. Then, if the property has not passed, suppose ownership is not transferred to the buyer, then this right is termed as the right of withholding delivery. Then we can say this is a right of withholding delivery. We are withholding delivery. Delivery will not made because the property has not been passed. Ownership has not been passed. On that cases, you can withhold the delivery. Delivery you will not make it. That we can make it. Understand? So this is the property has passed to the buyer when it is suppose not passed, that is transfer of the ownership is not been made to the buyer, then this right is termed as the right of withholding delivery. Then we can say this is a right of, you can withhold the delivery. So delivery you cannot make it. This is your right you can exercise. That is a right of stoppage in transit. You can exercise it when you have withhold the delivery. And the third cases is that the goods are in the course of transit. So when the goods are in the course of transit means your goods has already been in the carriage on the transit. It is midway somewhere on the road only it is carrying by the carrier. This means that the goods might have been neither with the seller nor with the buyer. They should be in the ordinary course, that is it is custody of a carrier as an independent middleman. So the third cases we said goods are in the course of transit. It is already already in the carriage. So it means that goods are not with the possession of the buyer, not with the possession of the seller. So they are only in the custody of the carrier, because he is a middleman to carry the goods from the seller to the buyer. So he will reach the goods to the destination of the buyer. Now this is the case where we can exercise this right. You can stop the goods and you can retain the possession of the goods with you. Now we will see when this right of stoppage in transit is deemed to an and. When it will be an and the seller cannot exercise his right of stoppage. So that means when he will lose his right to stoppage in transit. First case is that when the buyer or his agent takes delivery after the goods have reached destination. So buyer or his agent already has taken the delivery of the goods because it has reached to his place. Already taken. Then how he can exercise his right of transit? He cannot. He cannot stop the goods in transit. Already in the hand of buyer or his agent. Second case is when the buyer or his agent obtains delivery of the goods before their arrival at the appointed destination. Buyer or agent, they have taken the delivery of the goods. They took the, accept the goods before they have arrived at the, destination point. So they have already been taken before reaching their destination point. Then third case is when the goods have arrived at their destination and it has arrived at their destination and the carrier acknowledges to the buyer or his agent that he holds the goods on his behalf. So goods have already arrived at the destination of the buyer and the carrier has also got the receipt that the buyer or his agent has already, taken the possession on his behalf. They have already received the goods. So the right of stoppage in transit will lose. And the last circumstances, the right will be losing when the carrier wrongfully refuses to deliver the goods to the buyer or his agent. Carrier wrongfully refuses. Some mistaken has made. So he was not delivering the goods to the buyer or agent. Then right of stoppage in transit will be loose here. So this is the circumstances where you can lost your unpaid seller right of stoppage in transit. You will lose this right. Now we will see what are the distinctions. Somehow we can make the distinction now right to right to lien and the right of stoppage in transit. What is the distinctions? We can see it very well. The first distinction is that right of lien, the seller's right of lien attaches when the buyer is in default, whether he be insolvent or solvent. So the seller's right of lien will be there when the buyer is in his default. So he can take the possession of the goods if the buyer is in default. Default means he has not made the payment to the seller, whether he be insolvent or solvent. Whether he is solvent or insolvent, it doesn't make any difference. But he made some mistake. He made some default. That's why the sellers can have the right of lien. But in case of stoppage in transit, we will see this right. The right of stoppage in transit arises only when the buyer is insolvent. So insolvency or solvency doesn't fit it to the right of lien right. And right of stoppage, insolvency is the very, very important question. It should be the ground, but it is not the ground for right of lien. Lien is available only when the goods are in actual possession of the seller. This is your second point of distinction. Lien available when goods are in the actual possession of the seller. Goods are in the possession of the seller. Seller is having the possession. That is why right of lien will be available to an unpaid seller. But in case of right of stoppage in transit, we will see right of stoppage in transit is available when the seller has parted with the possession and the goods are in the custody of an independent carrier. So this right of stoppage you can exercise when this is the seller has already given the possession of the goods to the carrier, because the carrier is an independent carrier. So he is an independent carrier. He is already having the custody of the goods. In that point of time, the unpaid seller can exercise the right of stoppage in transit. But for lien case, it must always be in the possession of the unpaid seller. But here is not the question that possession must be with the unpaid seller. Now third distinctions you can very well make it. The right of lien comes to an end once the seller hands over the possession of the goods to the carrier for the purpose of transmission to the buyer. So right of lien, it will be comes to end. It will ceases to be once seller hand over the possession of the goods to the carrier for the purpose of the transmission to the buyer. If it is in the hands of the independent carrier for the purpose of transmissions to the buyer, then there is not a question of right of lien will exercise. No, he cannot exercise. Now third distinctions we can make it with the right of stoppage in transit we can make. So the right of stoppage in transit ceases, or right of stoppage in transit commences after the seller has delivered the goods to a carrier for the purpose of transmission to the buyer and continues until the buyer has acquired their possession. So the right of lien we cannot exercise when you have given this possession to the carrier in case of right of lien. But in case of right of stoppage in transit, it is commenced, it will start after seller has delivered the goods to a carrier. He must deliver the goods to the carrier, for the purpose of transmission to the buyer, and he should continue until the buyer has acquired their possessions. Till buyer gets the possession of the goods, he can exercise his right. And the last point of distinction is right of lien. In case of right of lien, the fourth point of distinction is right of lien consists in retaining the possession of the goods. So when the right of lien will be there in existence, when you are still having the possession of the goods, you are taking the retention of the goods with you. In fourth point of distinction, in case of right of stoppage in transit, the right of stoppage in transit consists in regaining possession of the goods. So right of stoppage in transit you will get it when you will regain your possession of the goods. That means you have already given it to a carrier and you have taken back, you stopped that goods to be carried to the destination of the buyer. You will stop it, then don't carry this, stop now. So that time you will going to get back your possession with you. So that is regaining word is important in the distinction of the right of stoppage in transit. But in right of lien, you can only have the possession of the goods, retain the goods. That is more than sufficient to have the, more than sufficient to have the right to be exercised by you. Now this is the right we have exercised in case of right of lien and right of stoppage in transit. And the last right we will see in case of unpaid seller. This is an important right also. It's a right of resale. So whether the unpaid seller has a right to resell or not, we will see. The right of resale is a very valuable right given to an unpaid seller. So you are unpaid, that is why you have a still right to resell your goods when you can exercise. Section 54 has lays down that therefore it gives to the unpaid seller a limited right to resell the goods in the following cases. You can resell your goods, and that is your limited right is given under following cases. The first case is where the goods are of a perishable nature. Important word is a perishable nature. I mean, anytime it will destroy goods. Second thing is it will spoil. So just not only destroy, it will spoil. Second case is where such a right is expressly reserved in the contract in case the buyer should make a default. So this is right is reserved for you, for an unpaid seller, in your contract itself, contract of sale itself, that buyer should make default. When buyer will make default, then that time you can go for reselling the goods. And the third conditions or the circumstances, you'll see where the seller has given a notice to the buyer of his intention to resell, and the buyer does not pay or tender the price within a reasonable time. Unpaid seller has already given an opportunity to the buyer to make him known or make him communications by a notice giving that I have an intention to resell the goods. So he said definitely that I am going to reselling the goods. This notice is more than sufficient for the buyer notice. And the buyer, if does not given any attention to pay or offer the price within a reasonable time, so definitely you have a right to resell the goods. So now very well you have understood that these are the very important rights. These three rights we have: right of lien, right of stoppage in transit, and right of resale. And also I have made a distinction between the right of lien and stoppage in transit. So this is very important topic and interesting also. So that is why it is very important from your examination point of view. And please go through the video till the completion, till the end, because then and then we will get your overall idea about what is the right is available to an unpaid seller. And this will make you very perfect to present your examination, or you can attempt your questions 100%. You can give in your answers to the questions. So this is for the CA, CS, MBA, and as well as the LLB students. It's a very, very important topic. Very interesting and very important. So keep watching this video. Till then, I'm just requesting you that if you are new or if anyone has not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to it. And don't forget to put a bell on the bell icon and share it, like it, where I can come with your new videos and most recent videos and important for your examinations also. So don't forget to subscribe. And my next video I'm coming with what are also the rights available of an unpaid seller against the buyer, because this is the rights only he was having against the goods in this video, but I'm coming with how the unpaid seller has a right against the buyer. This is also we have to study from your examinations point of view. So till then, keep watching.